you, Racine. That was so interesting.
Yours is on the desktop, right?
Yeah. Just curious, how many people here know what the AESO does or that it exists? And how many lawyers in the room? Well, I have the good opportunity, the good fortune of being both a lawyer and part of the electricity industry in our business. The role of legal counsel at the AESO allows us to participate at a hands-on level with the engineers, with the planners, with the business. So although I don't have a silver ring, I always tease my engineers that I deserve one after sitting in days and days of meetings with them. I'd also like to introduce a colleague of mine, Larissa Lees. She's here as well, and we work together at the AESO. So thank you for hearing me out. I don't usually present at presentations, and my presentation is nowhere as interesting as yours, but I'm here to offer whatever insight I have, little probably compared to the two of you, but happy to share what I know and what I've learned over the years being at the AESO. All right. So our role as the AESO stands for the Alberta Electric System Operator, is to plan and operate the transmission system. It's to connect new load and generation. It's to develop and operate the wholesale electricity market. And our newest mandate is to manage key initiatives to achieve the green energy policies while maintaining system reliability. So this fourth key function has made significant impacts in our business, and it includes developing the new initiative of the Renewable Electricity Program and the capacity market, which I'll touch on in later slides. So our market right now, or the electricity function in Alberta, consists of the energy market. We'll start with that one. That is the market where electricity is sold and bought, and we operate that market in Alberta. The AESO plays an instrumental role in developing and operating this market by making sure that it remains fair, efficient, and openly competitive. And all of that is mandated in legislation. So the Electric Utilities Act is our governing statute. That's the governing legislation. Under that, there are numerous regulations, and those regulations then dictate or mandate how we run the market, as well as how we operate the electricity business altogether in Alberta. So the AESO is a creationist statute. Had it not been for the EUA, we wouldn't exist. The government passed that bill, and now it's law, and that's how we operate. That's what we operate from. So the new game changer that's coming in is the capacity market. And the capacity market will pay electricity generators for having the ability to reliably make power available regardless of how often they sell energy into the grid. And the purpose of it is to ensure that there will be adequate supply of electricity to meet the province's demand. So with the incoming of new renewable sources of power, we now have to have a reliable source in case we need it. It's a backup type of renewable, a backup in case the renewable sources are not able to provide the power that we need. And so again, the AESO has been tasked with designing and implementing the capacity market, which we're in the process of doing right now. The tariff is how we collect money from consumers. And so when you see your electricity bill, when NMAX sends you a bill, that will be per the tariff that we require, and then they'll have their separate tariffs as well. The ancillary services, they provide short-term reliability to the grid. So in the Electric Utilities Act, we are required to make sure that there are ancillary services available should we need them. Some of them, and they are there to, in case the voltage and frequency levels are not, so if the voltage and frequency levels go up or down, we need to procure ancillary services Some examples of this include operating reserves, transmission must run, black start, or the load shed services for airport. And so, as I mentioned, we run the wholesale electricity market. Generators can offer in power, and then our role is to run that market. We don't buy and we don't sell, but we are the middle operator of the electricity market. In 2017, we ran $303 billion in annual energy transactions. So it's a big trading market that we currently have. The changers of this was the Climate Leadership Plan. So in 2015, the government of Alberta introduced its Climate Leadership Plan. The Renewable Electricity Program requires 30% of our electricity to come from renewable sources by 2030. And it also requires the phase out of coal by 2030. So to make this happen, Alberta's supply mix will change in the coming years from a largely coal-based fleet to one with a much greater percentage of renewables. Coal has been Alberta's workhorse for decades now, and we're going to have to phase out 6,200 megawatts of coal by 2030, which is an enormous task for the AESO. However, this presents a unique investment opportunity for both renewables and non-renewable generation. So where does Alberta's power currently come from? A majority of our power comes from coal-fired plants, so almost 38% of it. And then we have cogeneration and combined cycle. Wind is only at 8.69%. Then we have a simple cycle and a small fleet of hydroelectric. So as you can see, the majority is coming from coal plants, which is what's going to have to be phased out. There are currently 17 coal plants available for operation. So right now, or based on these stats, the largest current wind facility only produces 300 megawatts of power. So to make up the 6,200 megawatts from coal, we have to introduce a lot more renewables into the province. And so these are the predictions, or this is where we need to reach. The expectation is for Alberta's generation mix to shift from 38% coal and 17% renewables to 63% coal, 63% natural gas and 37% renewable energy. So to do this, the government mandated or decided to run an auction called the Renewable Electricity Program. And so the first REP auction was held earlier last year, and the results came out, and these are the results of that auction. So there were 12 bidders representing 26 projects and approximately 3,600 megawatts of capacity. Of that, 600 megawatts were selected, all new wind generation from local and international companies. The price that was set was $37 per megawatt hour. And this is a Canadian record, so we were successful in getting a good price through this auction. All four of these plants are located in southern Alberta, and they're expected to be operational by the end of 2019. And the requirement was that they connect to existing transmission systems. So we have 31 megawatts from the NL Green Power Plant, 115 megawatts from the NL Green Power Plant, another plant, 202 megawatts from Capital Power's Whitla plant, and 248 megawatts from the Sharp Hills wind facility. To reach new levels, we are going to continue with the REP round, and we're currently running REP round 2, which is going to procure 300 megawatts, and REP round 3, which will procure 400 megawatts. And the timelines are very aggressive. This is all going to happen by the end of the year. So we're currently in the REOI stage, the RFQ stage. RFPs are due in September, and the award will be made in December 2018. And so the terms of these competitions are the same as the terms for Rep 1, except that in Rep 2, we're looking for, or there's a requirement to have Indigenous participation through equity ownership. And then we go to the capacity market. So the objective of the capacity market is to ensure that reliability is achieved. It's to support the implementation of the climate leadership plan and to ensure that these new initiatives are able to come to fruition. We also want to make sure that the price ensures price stability, provide greater revenue certainty for generators, and maintain competitive market forces driving innovation and cost discipline. So the government has again directed the AESO to design and implement the capacity market with aggressive timelines. So we are in 2018 right now. We are doing a consultation or stakeholder engagement process where we are issuing each set of our design and going out to stakeholders, getting some feedback, incorporating that feedback. But then our final filing has to happen by Q1 of 2019 for us to implement, for us to have those rules in place to implement them by the first auction, which is planned to take place in Q4 of 2019. Very, very aggressive timelines for us, but so there's lots happening at the AESO, very exciting times. Lots to do. And so in terms of new development, we need 5,000 megawatts from renewable sources by 2030. We haven't seen the REP auctions have been awarded to wind generation. There are a few solar plants, but there's still opportunity for those solar plants to come in. What Racine showed us, that's happening on the other side of the world, we haven't seen that level of development on the solar power end here. The wind is picking up, and so, but we still need about 7,000 megawatts of additional generation to come in. So there are opportunities in microgen, which is the smaller generation. So that would be, if you're producing for your own house, that would be a smaller microgeneration plant. Storage is being explored heavily. It's expected to play an increasing role in enhancing efficiency of power, but it's a complex regulatory process, and we're right now studying how that development will fit into our market. So looking forward in Alberta, the AESO continues to advance renewables and integrate them through the REP auctions and through the capacity market transition. We're facing numerous challenges but opportunities, including achieving transmission plans, accommodating generation diversity, assessing impacts of distributed energy resources, cogeneration, storage, and dispatchable renewables. But the bottom line is that we have to continue to ensure reliability of Alberta's transmission system. So this continues to be our primary objective. And then lastly, I'll just speak to the role of legal counsel and what the opportunities that we do get at the AESO. So first and foremost is our duty to interpret legislation and regulation. As I said, we are a creature of statute. The Electric Utilities Act governs how we operate, and there are a number of regulations that fall under that. So we have to make sure that what we're doing is in compliance with those regulations. Secondly, we give legal advice to our clients. I think Racine mentioned that imagine you had only one client. Well, we only have one client. The AESO is our primary client. And so if the AESO goes under, we're all out of work. But that's it's a nice thing to be able to know your clients so well that you're able to give them that type of legal advice. When I was at BLG, I had multiple clients, and you were kind of in and out for a pocket of that company's life. Sometimes you got to see it through if you were lucky, but I did get very many opportunities to do that. So it's a nice it's nice to be able to influence the company's direction, what it does, the direction it takes, from more than a legal perspective. Then the basics: contract preparation, negotiation, and interpretation. Like any company, we have a lot of contracts, we negotiate a lot of contracts, we need a lot of IT services to operate the market. And so that's all done through contract negotiations. Regulatory filings, just the legislation that we have to follow requires that we submit filings to the Alberta Utilities Commission, and then they will make certain decisions. So we have filing deadlines, we have to respond to certain questions, and all of that becomes part of the regulatory work that we offer to the AESO, or we do for the AESO. We do use external resources. We do retain external counsel and get to work with external counsel, especially in this regulatory filing area. So it's nice to be able to do that, because we don't get that interaction every day with a lot of lawyers. We have a small group. I think we're at 13 now, which is much bigger than when I started. When I started, we were a group of 4. And so it's come a long way, but it's still nowhere as big as a law firm. So it's nice to have that interaction with them. And then we have a board. So the AESO is, the decisions made by the AESO are made by its board, which are appointed by the government. But we have to report to that board, we have to make submissions to that board, and then that board makes its decisions. So a part of our responsibilities include that documentation. And then we provide corporate secretarial support to our board, because that is their function. So that's an overview of what we do as the legal counsel at the AESO. And hopefully that gives you some perspective on the Alberta electricity market and new and upcoming developments that we are going to see in the next year.